Well, I'm back with new editing software, a new computer, and a new headset, here to bring you episode 3 of The Perspective. This week I take a look at the biggest news of this past week, talk a bit about Fanboys, and review the PS3 version of Spider-Man Web of Shadows. All this and more in 30 seconds on the Sharp and Pointy Perspective. Before I start, I want to take a few seconds to remember our good friends at the 1UP Network. They were responsible for some of the best gaming journalism out there. They made such great things as the Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine, the 1UP Show, and the 1UP Yours podcast. After about 20 years of fantastic reporting on gaming of any kind, they have been acquired and mostly laid off by the morons of UGO.com. Thanks, UGO, for destroying this fantastic crew who actually gave the gaming journalists a personality. Go to hell. It has been revealed that with the first batch of Fallout 3 DLC, the level cap will be increased to 30. The DLC pack is called Broken Steel and is set for a March release. New renders have surfaced for Star Wars Battlefront 3. This is being treated as the long-awaited announcement of the third installment of this acclaimed Star Wars shooter. Decide for yourself whether the renders are yay or nay. A new report has surfaced that the manufacturing cost for the PS3 has dropped 35%. With each new console now costing around $450 to make, it looks like the PlayStation branch of Sony might actually break even this year. If this continues, we may see a price cut sometime in the foreseeable future. Information on the next batch of Burnout Paradise DLC is still trickling in very slowly. A few months ago, it was announced we'd see the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It has now been announced that we'll be able to take cars such as Ecto-1, the General Lee, and KITT for a spin. No word yet on when we may see these cars in action. As a side note, if you are one of the many people who enjoyed the 1UP FM podcast, then hope is not lost. Check out Rebel FM. It's a podcast that is run by several ex-1UP editors. Once again, goodbye to all those who were laid off from 1UP.com. You will be missed. There are some people out there that I just don't get, such as white supremacists and fans of Richard Simmons. But since this isn't a KKK video or a workout routine, I'll have to talk about the type of person that I am most flabbergasted by. Fanboys. If you've played any amount of online gaming, you'll have met one of these morons. They are the type who believes that only one console, game, or genre has any merit, and the rest of them can go do inexplicable things that I don't really feel like reiterating. Sure, they can be cool people sometimes, but get into a conversation on which console is better and they'll bite your head off with uninformed statements and flawed logic. The only thing I can gather about these strange creatures is what they thrive on, and that is bashing the other systems. And using this logic, there's nothing they love more than companies ripping off each other. To clarify, rip-offs are when a company copies another company or on a feature or a game. For instance, avatars are rip-offs of Mii's, and Home is a rip-off of Second Life. But are these shameless copies really a bad thing? Sure, it would be nice to see a company come up with something original for a change, but I feel that copying someone else's success is the next best thing. Why are rip-offs so bad if they allow other people who only own one system to experience something they wouldn't be able to experience otherwise? Is it selfishness? Is it because their mom could only buy one console and they're desperately trying to justify the choice? What is it? And why are multi-platform games such a bad thing? Why is it so infuriating that Final Fantasy XIII is now on the 360? That means that people who only have a 360 will be able to enjoy the game too. You PS3 fans can still play it, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. I was quite surprised that Metal Gear Solid 4 stayed a PS3 exclusive, and I would not have minded if it had gone multi-platform, and neither would thousands of 360 owners. Of course, I don't know why I even bother saying these things. I'm not going to change any fanboys. They don't even watch reviews. A Nintendo fanboy will love all Sonic games no matter how incredibly bad they are. A 360 fanboy will try to say that Halo 3's campaign mode was not terribly average. And a PS3 fanboy will try to say that home bowling is the best thing ever. Some have said that fanboys are the soldiers of the console wars. This is only true if they're the 6-year-old soldiers playing with pop guns. Fanboys have very little effect on the success of one company or another. Fanboys do not, I repeat, do not count as hardcore gamers. If you ever hear a Sony, Nintendo, or Microsoft fanatic claiming to be a hardcore gamer, he is wrong and should be slapped. A fanboy is not a hardcore. He is a fanboy. Period. Of course, there is one other group that you may have noticed I've left out, PC gamers. However, this is a topic for another episode, as there are so many communities on the PC to talk about. I'll just close by saying that if you know somebody with a really low self-esteem, don't let him get acquainted with the Counter-Strike community. He just might kill himself.